The film begins at an oil factory located in Mexico. Inside that oil factory we are shown an employee who was running for his life. Actually, some unknown entity was continuously chasing the employee from beneath the ground, so the employee was saving his life and running away. Whatever it was, it seemed very terrifying and dangerous. Now the employee, after saving his life, started running over many containers, but there was no way out for him. At that time, the same dangerous creature emerges from under the ground and grabs the employee, devouring him in seconds. The employee couldn't understand, and ultimately his life was lost. Now in a nearby field, a man named Al is shown, who used to work as a rescue officer before. Al has currently left all his work and started managing his farm. He used to have many ostriches and domestic animals, but one day a businessman named Carlos comes to Al. Carlos comes across Out and his friend Ryan's phone autos in the newspaper because both of them had encountered a very dangerous creature. Carlos comes to Al and understands all the conditions nearby. He realizes that Al's oil factory is nearby, but for some time there has been a dangerous creature inside the ground of our oil factory that has been continuously killing our employees. If this country knows, Carlos will have to shut down his oil factory. After hearing all this, Carlos immediately understands that perhaps this is the same creature that they had faced before, and his very old friend Ryan had fought with all these creatures and had killed many of them, but now Carlos wants El to finish those creatures present in his oil factory. In return, they will give him a lot of money, but outright refuses to do all these things because only El knew how dangerous and terrifying all these creatures could be. There was always a risk of life, and now after thinking a lot, El refuses Carlos this deal. After Carlos leaves, one assistant of our named Grady comes to him and tells him that if Carlos will pay us to kill every creature, then we should not miss this opportunity. We could also become very rich. Al also knew about his condition and how difficult he was struggling. He also needed some dollars so that he could get married and settle his family. That's why now Al had accepted Greatest idea. This means that he had agreed to go to Car closest to a factory and kill all those creatures present in all those lands. After this, Grady and El both head towards the oil factory. Carlos also became very happy seeing El there. Carlos had understood because he had quite an experience. So, he had made it clear to both of them that if you capture those creatures alive, you will get $1 million, and if you kill them, you will get $50,000. Grady had arranged everything there, such as many weapons and grenades, and had started preparing all the weapons so that they could kill those creatures. In terms of weapons, there was no shortage, and now perhaps Ellen Grady were ready to kill all those creatures. Now Carlos had introduced as El and Grady to a biologist named Monarch She, who provided all the information about this place to Carlos. This company I was looking very beautiful and good. Now they had introduced their assistant, who had set up a device all over this place through which the location of the creatures inside the ground could be found. After planning everything well, Al and Grady sat in their car and left far away, while I and his assistant stayed in the center and kept providing them with all the data. Then suddenly Monarch She told Al and Grady that a very dangerous creature was following them, because that creature was following the sound of their car. Al and Grady immediately stopped their car and left from there because driving the car this way could be very dangerous, but Al had found a new way to kill those creatures. He had taken a small remote control car and attached dynamite to it. He was continuously driving it on the field by controlling it. Now, by sensing the vibrations of that small remote control car, the creature present inside the ground directly grabbed it with its mouth, but by then Al had pressed the button of the dynamite, so due to a big explosion that creature died immediately. Using this technique, both of them had killed many creatures present in the ground and had brought many deaths. After finishing the day's work, they both were going to rest, and then the next day they came back and used the same technique. Now they were enjoying killing all these creatures a lot. Now sitting in their car, they were very happy, but due to the fast wind blowing, one of their umbrellas fell down. Grady went to pick it up, but then Grady heard the sound of his radio, which had been stolen last night. Immediately he looked at the radar system and saw that a dangerous creature was increasing towards Grady, so he immediately told Grady to come up. By then a very dangerous creature from Greatest right side was bringing its mouth out. These were really terrifying centipedes whose size was very large. The good thing was that El somehow took Grady onto his car by any means, but now that creature present inside the ground had started pulling a chain attached to their car, so Al and Greatest car was also running behind it. Although Al tries hard to apply brakes, it was of no use. The creature was pulling both their cars towards a very deep pit. Seeing this, Grady started screaming a lot. Then coming near the pit, that creature stopped there because it may have understood that if it made their car fall, it could also fall into the pit itself. So on the other side of the ground, that creature started pulling the car. The chain of the car broke, and both of them stopped at one place. Just then Orel noticed that many creatures were coming towards their car from the ground, so Al immediately started his car with Grady and moved away from the mining field. Now Al and Grady had returned to their center. On the other side, everyone was present at the research center where they were examining all those fossils brought by Al and Grady. After a while, they found out something shocking, that these fossils were very old, from the time when dinosaurs lived on Earth. Everyone was shocked to see this information because it meant that these creatures have been present inside the Earth for so many years now. Something unknown appeared on Al's radar coming towards them. They were a little scared, but after coming out, they found out that it was their friend Ben, who would probably come there to help out. Ben was very happy to meet Al and the others. He had brought many weapons and bombs inside his truck which could help out easily eliminate all those creatures. So now are Ben and Grady set out, sitting inside their car towards the oil fields where many bombs were present. A continuously planted time bombs on small cars and blasted those creatures. Now all these things had become quite easy for the three of them. Then Orel noticed something on the radar, that a creature was running away from them instead of coming closer to their car. The car of Al and Grady was continuously running when suddenly the same creature came out in front of them. Due to the jerk, Al's car started to fall down, getting stuck near a stone, and Grady somehow managed to get out of the car and went towards that creature. The creature had stopped suddenly at one place without attacking or showing any signs of fear. From there, Grady goes to put a bomb on the remote control car to finish off that creature, but perhaps those creatures had figured out that these remote control cars were a way to trap them, so they didn't do anything to that car. Grady was also not able to understand anything, so he runs away after touching that creature, but that creature didn't attack Grady either. Al and Grady were confused about what these creatures wanted to do. Then they decided to capture this creature alive because Carlos would pay them double for it. Al immediately called Carl and informs him that they have found a living creature, so he was demanding a big truck from the company to take that creature. Until then, Al and Grady would have to wait there. Al and Grady fell asleep on their car as the night approached, so Al and Grady immediately get into the car and drive away from there. Meanwhile, Al's friend Ben has also completely disappeared from the scene. While trying to find the right path, many creatures attack him. The small creatures are directly jumping on the truck and destroying it, and now even Ben has somehow reached there with his truck. Al was getting a little angry because he had not been told anything about this type of creature. Al responds that no radio signals were working, therefore I couldn't contact you. Ben, while fighting those creatures, managed to catch one of them, so they all bring that alive creature into the center to conduct some research on it, but no one knew that while capturing the truck, another creature had also come with them. Now the captured creature was locked inside a very strong cage, but as soon as it showed its hand, the creature started screaming, letting everyone know that this creature recognized his body heat, and all of them were attacking only it. When those people gave something to the captured creature to eat, it immediately started vomiting. After a while, it started giving birth to a new baby inside its vomit, meaning these creatures do not need a partner for reproduction, and this is how they keep increasing their population. Suddenly another creature comes inside the truck. Grady and Al immediately start attacking it with a hammer. To save me, they continuously keep hitting the creature with the hammer so that the other creature also dies, but all of them had to hide to save their lives. As soon as they came out, a large number of those creatures were already there who were eating the food kept in the truck. I and the rest of the people will have to hide in any way possible, because if once their body heat is sensed by the creatures, they will all come attacking. Ben had to come forward to save all his companions, and he started shouting loudly, causing all the creatures to focus on him. Ben started chasing them, and the others understood that perhaps Ben had a plan. Ben continuously entered the warehouse through the doors, and when all the creatures also entered the warehouse, Ben smartly escaped from the other door. This means that all the creatures were trapped inside the warehouse, but Grade reminded them that there was a lot of food inside which, if eaten, could allow all the creatures to reproduce, and their now would increase significantly. Therefore it was very important to eliminate them now. That's when Orel comes with a fire extinguisher and tells them to spray carbon dioxide all over their bodies because it would immediately reduce the heat of Orel's body. This plan was working well. When he entered the warehouse, no creature could sense him, but Orel had to finish this quickly because carbon dioxide could melt any time. Orel Immediately takes some time bombs placed there and fits them in between all those creatures. Due to the reduced effect of carbon dioxide, the creatures we're now able to see are prompting them to attack him, but El saw a good opportunity and came out of the warehouse. He tells everyone that he has planted a very dangerous time bomb there, so they all have to escape from there. People start moving away from the warehouse, although the creatures were trying hard to come out due to activating the bomb. Within seconds there was a huge blast in the warehouse, and along with the entire warehouse, all the creatures were finished. This means that our end. Now the movie is end. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and support me.